Welcome tabletop fans, we've got a fun one for you today. We're going to show off the GameMaster Snow and Tundra Terrain Primer and the rest of the GameMaster products in this fun tutorial. We're going to be building a really unique piece of terrain for your gaming table, especially if it is a snow or winter themed table. Thomas is just making a stencil here using some graph paper. You can use a standard piece of paper if you want. Stencils are great when you're using XPS Foam because they allow you to build very nice clean lines and also allow you to replicate those lines on future pieces of terrain. So Thomas is just very simply going to cut out the tracing marks that he made on the graph paper with his hobby knife. Then he's going to take that stencil and apply it to the XPS foam and trace out the outlines onto the foam. Then using the hot wire foam cutter, he is going to cut the relief of this piece of terrain. It looks like an archway, but it's actually going to be the back of a throne. One of the cool things with this XPS foam is that you can design any kinds of insignias or details that you'd like, whether it's cracks or borders. Thomas is using his graphite pencil here to just draw a border. And then he's adding some runic symbols to it. This is going to be a really cool centerpiece for his winter theme table. Take an old brick or stone or aluminum foil ball and press that into the surface to give it some realistic texture. Now Thomas is just marking out some simple spacing on the XPS foam. These are going to be the same width of the throne. These are going to be the stairs leading up to it. Then with the steel ruler and scenery knife, he's very simply going to cut them out. Now he's just going to crop the spacing that he wants to build up the stairs to this throne. We'll repeat this step a couple times to get the levels that he desires. Cleverly, Thomas is using the stencil to build the armrest to this throne. So he's going to trace out that arched shape once again. Very cleverly, Thomas is going to reuse the stencil that he made for the back of this throne for the armrests. So he's tracing that shape once again into the XPS foam. He'll split that shape down the center, and these will make up the armrests to the throne. Once he's adhered them, he can add extra texture to this piece. This is a snow and tundra theme, so maybe this is an ice throne. So he's going to add some cracks in the ice very simply using his graphite pencil. And after dry fitting all of the models, ensuring that they all match up the way that he wants them to, he can assemble them using his XPS foam sculpting glue. Once the glue is dried, it's time to grab your GameMaster Snow and Tundra Terrain Primer, give it a good shake, and apply a nice even coat all over your piece of terrain. When you're finished priming, go ahead, turn the can upside down, activate that nozzle until pigment stops emitting from it, and that's a great way to keep the nozzle clean for future projects. You can see that Thomas added a foundation for this piece of the terrain very simply with a piece of XPS foam and some scenery sand. Now it's time to add some color. He's starting with a bit of fog gray from the Army Painter War Paints range, and he's thinning this down with a bit of clean water. And he's going to begin applying this all over the model. He's basically adding shadow to the model and some depth and shade. We'll build this back up to the brighter snow and tundra color, which is a match to our Gorgon hide from the War Paints range. But first we got to add some shadow. With a bit of Quickshade blue tone, we're going to apply this very finely into the recesses and corners of the model, letting it work its way into the details, like here on the runic emblems and insignia on the back of this throne. I mentioned before that Gorgon hide is 100% matched to this Snow and Tundra Terrain Primer. We're going to use that to bring it back to the base tone. We went dark to add shadow, now we're bringing it back up for that truly icy effect. We're using Quickshade blue tone again to add some icy streaks to the model. This is going to give it a nice, almost mirrored clear ice appearance. Thomas did a really great job with this piece of terrain. And what would frozen terrain be without frozen tufts? We're going to apply these very randomly and sporadically across the base of this piece of terrain to really finish it off and give it a nice, realistic, and cool effect. Now the finishing touches for this Ice World Frozen Fantasy gaming table is to apply some snow. And there's a really simple and cool way to do that using the Army Painter and GameMaster products. With some XPS foam glue, we're just going to apply this with an old brush to areas on the base that we think would collect snow. It's very simply to maybe the top of the throne here, like Thomas is applying. And to the areas here, we're just going to apply some little dabs where snow might collect on this frozen throne. Then you're going to take some of our snow flock from the Battlefields range and just sprinkle it over the top like so. Go ahead and shake off the excess and your Tundra Ruin is complete. The perfect throne for your Ice King or Queen. We hope that you enjoyed all of the tips and tricks found inside of this tutorial. More than anything, we hope that you notice just how fun it can be to build your own terrain with the Game Master range of products from the Army Painter. This versatile range of products is perfect for building anything from dungeon tiles to wargaming terrain. Whether it's historical gaming, science fiction, or fantasy, Game Master has something for you. Check it out at thearmypainter.com.